Why is it really necessary to write down your goals? There was a survey conducted in the Harvard University in 1973. Hey everyone, Sanjay here from Contriver podcast. You're listening to Consan Show, and this is episode number 217. In this episode, we'll just discuss about goal setting and why is it really important to write down your goals. What does that make? I mean, what difference that does that make in your life? And let's get started. Hey everyone, Sanjay here from Contriver podcast. You're listening to Constant Show. Never listen to any advice, guys. That's the advice that I want. These are nothing but you practice, you will become an expert one. Your network is your net worth. But I don't know how to start. Just start. In my previous video, I have discussed a lot about infinite goals. What is finite goal? What is an infinite goal? You have no idea about that. Make sure you watch that particular video that pops up on your screen. Over there, the I button. Yeah, if you are listening to podcast, make sure you guys just hit on the previous podcast. I highly recommend you guys to watch that. And if you love my contents, make sure you hit that red button. That would mean a lot to me. And if you could hit that notification button next to it, and that means a world to me, guys, because I deliver motivation dose every single day before you guys wake up. That's my assurance. And let's jump on to this topic. Why is it really necessary to write down your goals? There was a survey conducted in the Harvard University in 1973. I'm a really bad person in numbers. Yeah, it's 1973. You know, the graduates of 1973, those people were asked this question: how many of you have a life goal? How many of you have a goal that you need to achieve in next 20 years? Probably everyone raised their hand saying that I have a goal. 100% of the people just raised their hands saying that I have a goal that I can work for next 20 years, and that would be awesome. And the next question that Dean asked was, okay, fine. How many of you have written your goals? And when that question has been asked, just 5% of the same hands were stayed on the air, and just 5% raised their hands. You know, the dean felt like, okay, fine, we'll just look into it. After 20 years, when they just got graduated, after 20 years, those people who were graduated, a survey was made, and what really happened was those 5% who just written their goals, most of that people, the people who were successful financially, was those people who have written their goals, the 5% who have written their goals. You don't trust me, this doesn't sound really legitimate for many people, and people feel like, what would really happen if I just write that on a sheet of paper? That would motivate you subconsciously, saying that if you just write that goals during the night before you get into the sleep, what really happens is your subconscious mind starts working on it, and even though if you know that that goal is not achievable, you'll find a different way. I have experienced it. When I just wake up early morning, I'll feel I'll get one or the other strategy to my particular business. It's not just me. And as soon as you wake up, try to write that goals again, and don't flip the pages and read that goals again. Just try to write that. Just try to recall what are your goals for next 10 years, next 20 years, next 50 years. And yeah, it's not just me who writes those goals. It's almost 80% of the millionaires do that, 80% of the billionaires who do that, and 80% of the most famous people do that. Trust me, it's not just me, it's Richard Branson and Grant Cardone. I have read his book called as the 10x rule. So he have talked a lot about goal setting in that particular book, and he stressed a lot about writing goals. And Grant Cardone, and Warren Buffett and Sarah Blakely, Oprah Winfrey, and many people, Evan Carmichael too. So those people just plan their life, they write their goals, and that keeps them motivating every single day. That keeps them moving every single day. You don't know how to achieve it. You don't have to worry. Nobody does know how to achieve their goal when they just write that down in a sheet of paper. You don't have to worry. If you really know how to do that, then you would have done that already. When Elon Musk said that he needs to go to Mars, nobody just understood why he need to go to Mars. How can he do that? And today he is making things happen, right? So that is how people are. That is how things are. So make sure you guys write it down. And the shout out in this episode is for Digital Yoda. So Digital Yoda, and he has an awesome page. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, and the links will be over here. Make sure you guys follow him. So he gives an awesome digital marketing tips for your page, and that's completely awesome. It's worth listening to. Sorry, it's worth following him in Instagram. Make sure you guys do the same. And I'm so impressed by his contents, and the way that he delivers every single thing. I mean, the page growth or SEO or the marketing strategy that he teaches, that's completely awesome. And huge shout out for you, brother. And yeah, I'll meet you guys in my next podcast. If you guys need a shout out in my podcast, make sure you comment on this episode. Comment what do you feel about this particular podcast. That means a world to me. Those people take some 15 seconds, 20 seconds extra time just to comment on my episode podcast video. You guys mean a world to me. And if you could hit that red button, that would be awesome. Hit that notification button if you need daily motivation. Those my videos will be delivered to you before you just wake up. This is my assurance. And I'll meet you guys in my next podcast. Meet you guys at the top. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.